Happy birthday, 8 billionth person! On November 15th, 2022, the UN announced that the world population reached a new milestone of 8 billion people. It's hard to fathom how quickly this milestone arrived when historically the population has been under 1 billion.
Then the world population rose to 1 billion for the first time in the year 1804. It reached 2 billion in 1927, 3 billion in 1960, 4 billion in 1974, 5 billion in 1987, 6 billion in 1999, 7 billion in 2011,
and now 8 billion in 2022. The world population has quadrupled in the last 100 years, from 2 billion to 8 billion. That is unbelievable. How did the human population rise so quickly?
There were 3 major factors leading to this rapid rise. First, there was a large decline in child mortality. In the early 1800s and earlier, about half of children lived to age 5. There was a gradual improvement to 72% by 1950 as people learned more about feeding and caring for infants. The child mortality rate has been quickly declining since then thanks to increased knowledge of medicine and sanitation. And now more than 95% of children globally live to age 5. Obviously, we should increase this further. Second, average adult lifespan worldwide has also increased. When you look at historical lifespan numbers, they're always skewed because they're an average of all people. Because child mortality was so high, it brought the average lifespan down to like 25 to 30 years in most parts of the world. But it doesn't mean that everyone was dying of old age at 25 years old. For most of history, those that survived to adulthood, or 20 years, could expect to live until they were 50 to 60 years old. That same 20-year-old today has a life expectancy of 82. Because so many more people are living so much longer, the demographics of the future are much different. People over 65 were just 5% of the population in 1950. Currently, almost 10% of the population is over 65. And by 2100, it's projected that over 20% of the population will be over age 65. 2.5 billion seniors in a world with 10.4 billion people. The long-term forecast looks good for any business that caters to seniors, but I think we can also expect the definition of retirement to change significantly. Finally, agriculture has been in a frantic race to keep increasing production, and they have succeeded. Around the year 1800, Thomas Malthus was predicting population growth leading to starvation. Since then, we have developed or improved mechanization, fertilizers, pesticides, selective breeding, educating farmers, and genetic engineering. Each of these has taken the future of food scarcity and pushed it back just a little bit. The amount of land used for farming is limited, but the production per acre keeps going up and up, exceeding the pace of population growth. We already know the next few innovations in agriculture, adding sensors and autonomous farm equipment to improve the health of crops and livestock. After that, hopefully something else? From today, it's projected that human population growth will slow. The trends we have seen so far indicate that developed countries have a lower birth rate. The average amount of development is increasing worldwide, so the birth rate should decrease as well. And while adult lifespans are increasing, they will not increase forever. At some point, the world should hit an equilibrium of human population somewhere around 10.4 billion people. Unless, as has happened so many times in the past, something unexpected happens that makes the population go even higher. I would not bet against a 15+ billion population in 2200, even though I can't imagine how it would work. 3-dimensional cities rising into the sky? Apartments in space stations? Or just everyone evenly spread out across the entire land surface of the planet, each person with exactly 1 hectare of space?
It's an interesting time to consider where we are as a species, and how we might make room for other species to live alongside us as we continue to increase our population. Thanks for learning today. You can keep increasing your knowledge by subscribing. And if you like this work, you can support this channel on Patreon or as a channel member. Thanks for stopping by to learn what makes life awesome.